What's up, guys? Pedro Doordash Santiago here. I'm gonna give you guys some of my tips and trips for. I'm almost at basically 5,000 trips of the gig economy, like over 3,600 on DoorDash. We got a couple hundred on Uber Eats, and then we've got like 1,200. What do you call it? Uber Rideshare. So I'm gonna give you guys some tips, some tricks, what I've learned so far by doing it. I'm gonna share a lot of DoorDash stuff with you because that's what I mostly know. And if you're new, definitely watch this. All right, guys, so I'm a full-time gig driver, okay? I've been doing it started part-time last January 2020. Did it part-time while I worked at a casino, and then I've been full-time this year, January 2022. These are some of the things I've learned, okay? I do a lot of DoorDash, so I'll put a screenshot or picture here of like my lifetime deliveries and my ratings for you so you can see. The first thing I would recommend, and that I think is very important, one thing I've learned is when I started doing DoorDash and gig work and Uber, I was doing it to help pay for a trip. I was like, hey, I can do this on the side. I used to be an Uber passenger. I can do it on the side and make money and not have to, not have it affect anything else I got going on. And then it was like, the money was pretty good. And pandemic hit, didn't do it as much. But what I've really learned this year only is I started betting on myself, and I'm working towards some dreams and some goals I have personally and professionally for myself. And the gig work affords me the time, the flexibility to be able to do that, right? And if you know what you're doing, you can make good money. But this is what I'm getting at. You can't just do gig work just to do it, okay? I believe the best kind of gig work, the most beneficial is if you're gonna look at it like a business, look at it like, don't look at gross, look at net money, okay? What I mean by that is if you're making $1,000 a week, let's just say, that's not what you're really making because you gotta put away for taxes. You got, car maintenance and repair, you got gas, right? Extra supplemental insurance, other things that you have to take into consideration. So look at it like a business, gross versus net, okay? But you gotta be building towards something. That's the number one thing. Do it for a purpose and a reason. If you're doing it just to do it, you'll become frustrated and you're gonna feel like you're just in the rat race, a cat chasing its tail. You gotta have a purpose, whether you're doing it for a few weeks, a few months, or you got, hey, I'm gonna do this gig work for a couple years so I can do this, right? So I can have this, I can pay off this, I can work on this, I can save money for this. You gotta have a goal in mind. That's the first thing to start with, in my opinion. All right, number two, when you are new, you're not gonna know what you're doing. Unless you've looked at YouTube or found out some tips and tricks, and even then, you're still not gonna know all the way because each market's different. So my second thing is you gotta be willing to be patient and also make mistakes. Take chances. Go to merchants, see if they're good, if they're bad, make mental notes, take actual notes if that helps you. That this McDonald's is bad, and that Chick-fil-A is good, and that mom and pop Chinese place is good or bad. You got to have a good memory and understand where you wanna go, have a plan. But in the beginning, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna wait long for food, you might have irritable customers, you might pick the wrong zones, the right times, you might chase peak pay. I don't recommend chasing peak pay. You gotta have a plan, but you're gonna have to make mistakes in order to get what zone you feel good in, what area you wanna work in. Do you want breakfast and lunch? Do you want lunch and dinner? Are you gonna do breakfast and dinner? Are you gonna do dinner then late night? You gotta be willing to go out there and just hit the ground running. Boots on the ground, wheels on the ground, doing it. I call it market research. You gotta understand what your market is like, because tips and tricks from somebody like Harry or myself or anybody else on the YouTube platform is great. And most of the time they're gonna be pretty sound universally, but markets can be different, whether you're urban, big city, rural, small market, big market, all that stuff. Seasons change, So you gotta be patient and be willing to make the mistakes. Go to merchants that you've never been, okay? Know what your miles to money ratio is. What I mean by that is you get an offer that comes in. If it's going 5 miles, if you're doing a $1 per mile ratio, then it's gotta be $5. If it's $2 per mile, then it should be at least 10. Figure out what that is for you and your business in your market to achieve your goals. Patience is super important though. So this one's going to be DoorDash specific, okay? But you, as a independent contractor, do not have to accept every offer. Your acceptance rate in the app does not matter. I'm going to repeat that. Your acceptance rate does not matter. Now, there is something called Top Dasher. In some markets, you might want to be Top Dasher. You think that's beneficial. Your acceptance rate has to be 70% or more. I am not a Top Dasher. I've never been one, never wanted to be one. My acceptance rate 2 weeks ago was 0%. It got there because of some crazy things. I got 90 really bad offers from one local charity, so it drove it way down. However, right as I got to 0, I was still getting good offers. Acceptance rate does not matter. You're an independent contractor. You can choose what orders you want to take for your business. Don't feel like, because DoorDash is going to send you $2, $3, $4 orders going really far miles. Sometimes they'll send you a $2 order going 1 mile. And you feel like, oh, that's not bad. Up to you. I'm not going to tell you what orders to take. I don't recommend it. But you do not have to take orders that they send you. Don't feel and they're going to send you orders. You're going to be on an order. They're going to stack it and send you another order. Don't feel like you need to take that. Take it if it makes sense to you, but under no circumstance feel obligated to do so. Don't mind me as we're in the car talking because I'm doing gig work. I try to do multiple things. So, leads me to the next point. Your car is your office. Your car is your office. It's your workspace. It's your bloodline to making money and reaching your goals. When I first started, I kind of knew that, but I didn't appreciate it enough, right? Let's get into that. This is very important. So, nothing worse than making money, but you're not making money. This is what I mean by that. If you're running your car ragged, not listening to it, not getting oil changes, checking your tires, making sure they're inflated, hearing for squeaks, whether it's a strut or something, like, you gotta keep your car clean on the inside, but also you need to pay attention to what's going on. If a check engine light comes on because you're using it too much, if your tire pressure light comes on, you gotta stop what you're doing and figure it out, okay? If you're out of commission because your car's down because you're not taking care of it, you're not making money, right? You gotta listen to your car. You gotta turn the music down sometimes. You gotta roll the windows down. You gotta listen it. You gotta have it checked out if you got a mechanic. These are very important things to make sure you're being the most profitable, because you could turn a small problem into a big problem. And if it's a big problem and you're out for a few days, that kills your whole week's of earnings, right? Listen to your car, take care of it. Regular oil changes are, at a minimum, a must. Something else that helps me real quick, I have used the DoorDash app to order food. I like to see exactly the customer's perspective. I've also used Uber Rideshare as a passenger many, many times before I had an automobile. That's how I knew I think I could do Uber. I think it could be profitable, could be fun, good little side hustle. Using these apps from the customer end is going to give you their perspective, and it's actually going to make you a better delivery driver or Uber rider, because you know exactly what the customer sees and has to go through. You see their side of it, and it also allows you to help the customer if things come up. If you're going to do DoorDash, download the app, do an order or two, try it out. And if you're going to do Uber Rideshare, I recommend getting the Uber app, taking a trip somewhere, go out to dinner, go to a local bar, go to a ball game, use it, see what it's like. It's very, very valuable information. All right, my last tip. A lot of these aren't very tactical or, specific to, things in the app, but they're just general things that I've learned and things to think about, okay? If you're doing this, you're already a hustler. You have a hustler mindset, right? You're doing it for a reason. You should be. And you're a hardworking person. You're waking up every day. You're probably working at least 5 days a week. Most of us 6 or 7, and you're out on the grind all day. But it's not always going to be busy. It's not always going to be great. You're not always going to be positive. It's not always going to feel great. A customer's going to set you off. A merchant's going to be slow. You got to remember to pause, take your mental breaks, step outside of your negative space of your car, walk around the block, hit pause. If you bring snacks and water, drink and eat that. You got to pause and reflect. Don't get caught up too much in the negative or or it's slow or anything like that, right? You gotta pause. If there's no money to be made that day and you can afford not to work, take the day off. Reset your mind, focus, relax. A positive Pedro is always a better driver, and I make more money when I'm feeling good. If I'm having bad days, I'll try to maybe muscle through it, but at the end of the day, maybe that's the day I need to take a L, take a day off, relax, reset my mind. Very important. This is just food. It's just people in your backseat, right? Don't make it more than that. Don't let it overtake all your emotions. That's just a life thing as well. Listen, I hope you guys like some of these things I've learned in my times. I have a channel, you can check it out, Pedro Doordash Santiago. We talk about dissecting orders and the gig life and all that stuff. I do videos every single day at 4 p.m., okay, for you guys. And I also talk about positive vibes, keeping it positive, but most importantly, the channel is about betting on you, setting goals, and doing it one day at a time. You guys are great. Deuces. Bonus tip, don't just drive around looking for orders. Gas is too expensive. Sit, park, know your market, find a hot spot, whatever it is for you. If you're driving aimlessly trying to find an order, you're wasting money.